So 4 to 5 months back, we did a video on some of the best IEMs under rupees 2000. So today we'll be doing a similar video and cover some of the best IEMs under rupees 3000. Not exactly under 3000, but couple of hundreds here and there. So what we have here is the AGA1 by AGA sound. We have the EPZ-Q1 Pro, G1 by 7Hz, Blon BL03 version 2 that recently rolled out, and also CCZ DUET, also known as the CCZ BC04 Pro, that recently came out. So I want to start with the favorite one on my list, which is this AGA1 by AGA sound. So if you look at these IEMs, so the faceplate is made from metal and it's all CNC machine, and they are using some kind of sand oxidation process here. And if you look at the rear part, so it's made from some resin or plastic with some coating on it, I believe. So whenever you're touching this, it just feels too soft, and overall this IEM feels just too premium and expensive. You can already figure out from these shots. Now when it comes to the fitting and comfort, so the IEMs are neither too big nor too small. They are just of the right size and they fit me really very well, and I've been using these IEMs for long listening hours. They didn't give me any sort of pain. And also talking about the cable, it just feels too soft, and even I believe if you bend the cable exactly at 180 degrees, it's not going to break. Talking about the technical specifications, these IEMs come with dual dynamic drivers and single dynamic driver inside with dual magnetic circuit design with dual chambers. Two unique things about them is that they are using two N52 magnets inside, and they are using some kind of cavity resonator, which was new to me. And yeah, also they are using some kind of a CCAW voice coil separately. So I mean, yeah, there is too much going on from a technical perspective. Now when it comes to the audio quality, so these IEMs are not just about having a good bass kick or thump in the low frequencies, but instead they just layer down the bass frequencies into different layers, which just feels too good and gives a very fun listening experience. Talking about the vocals, so it's not just about the kind of clarity you can achieve in male and female voices, but the vocals here feels just too wide, and the overall the kind of surround you will feel in the, especially in the mid frequencies, is just too good. I think that voice coil they have included in the structure, it's like doing its job very well. And also when it comes to the high frequencies, they have enough amount of details. So for me, this is the kind of product that checks all the boxes. The next we have is the EPZ-Q1 Pro, and these are built slightly different from the AGA1. So if you look at the housing, so it's made from resin, it's all 3D printed, and the overall these IEMs feel really smooth to touch because it doesn't have any sort of edges or corners, and this faceplate that you're looking at is all 3D printed. Talking about the cable, so it also comes really with a very good quality cable. It's just that the look and feel of this cable is slightly different with what you get with the AG1. And yes, one more thing, these IEMs are not color matched at all. So if you look at the housing, it comes in black and this blue, and you have plenty of other colors, and the cable is brown. So yeah, it has a slightly different approach when it comes to the look and feel. Now talking about the overall audio quality, I'll give you my practical overview. So first of all, these IEMs feel slightly less in bass when you compare it to the AGA1, but the overall mid frequencies and high frequencies feel slightly enhanced. So that's how I can put it when I'm like comparing both of them. Now if you look at this particular graph, so you already see that the AGA1 is this blue line, and the EPZ-Q1 Pro is this green line. So in the bass region, blue line is above the green line. Quite evident that the AGA1 is going to give you a better bass. But when it comes to the mid frequencies, it's kind of 50-50, because in some region the AGA1 is above, and in the other half of the region the EPZ-Q1 Pro is above. So mid frequencies, I would say that I was getting slightly better details in the mid frequencies when it comes to the AG1, especially in the sound separation part. And now when it comes to the high frequencies, so you will see that this green graph, the lower values of this graph is like more above as compared to the blue one, which simply means that the overall treble region will be more enhanced on this one. But overall both these IEMs are like have a very good sound, and here is the audio comparison. The next we have is the 7Hz G1. So I really like these IEMs because of the design and finish and the kind of build quality they have. So these are made from metal, and you can already see that these are very smooth to look at, and overall the design is very minimal in this particular case. And also if you look at the cable, so it comes in this light gray colored cable, which doesn't feel like a plastic, neither it feels like a rubber, but it feels something in between. And also this cable is really a dry one when you're touching it, so the feeling of like touching this cable is very nice. And also this comes with an included microphone. I mean, like most of the models have the included microphone, but this one that was sent to me has a included microphone, and it comes with volume controls and also with a shirt clip. And also I like how they have labeled everything, especially this connector and all. And also this particular part where they have the 7 Hz and the G1 branding. So overall, a very good looking IEMs overall. And if I talk about the feeling of comfort and fitting, so they fit on nicely very well, but I just felt that both G1 and the EPZ Q1 Pro will be slightly tight on these ears. It's not anything major, but when you compare it to the AJ1, so the AJ1 will be like more small and compact, while both G1 and the Q1 Pro will be slightly bigger in size. Now talking about the overall audio quality, the 7Hz G1 has a sort of V-shaped sound signature, and overall the IEMs feel really very powerful. So I just felt that the bass on this one is like higher as when you compare it to the Q1 Pro. I will not say that it's higher than the AGO1, but yeah, the bass feels really very powerful. And also if you talk about the high frequencies, so there is a lot of details in the high frequency region, but yes, when you talk about the vocals, I would say that the vocals are slightly suppressed when you compare it to the AJ1, but very equivalent to the Q1 Pro. So very minor differences between all these three IEMs. Now if you compare this on the basis of the graph, so you will see that especially that 8000 kilohertz frequency range, that is slightly elevated in this case, while on the Q1 Pro or on the AJ1, that frequency range is not elevated at all. And also if we look at the bass frequency, so the graph of the G1 is more above than both Q1 Pro and the AJ1. So that is how I can all put it. And if you're looking for any V-shaped IEM, then you can definitely go with the 7Hz G1. The next we have is the Blon BL03 version 2. So first of all, my experience with any of the Blons has not been too good, because in the original version I had some issues related to the fitting, and in the new version as well, the fitting is slightly improved in my opinion, but it's not as good as I was expecting. So first of all, if you look at the housing, it's made from metal, and this one is also like all powder coated, and it has a matte finish to it, and it doesn't attract fingerprint at all, so it's going to stay very clean. And also if you look at the cable, it feels really of a high quality. The cable is transparent, and the cable that is going inside is like in bright and silverish appearance. So overall the IEMs look very neat and very clean and also very premium. And also this variant that was sent to me came with a microphone, so the microphone is all transparent and it has all that volume controls. Now first of all, these IEMs that were sent to me has a type C, and all the others that I have came with a 3.5mm jack. So I was able to test rest of them with my DAC, but with this I was not able to include any sort of DAC in between, so I used it with my smartphone and also with my computer directly without the use of any DAC. So first of all, the overall feeling that I get when I'm using them is that the bass on this one is really good. Just if you get the good fitting, so the bass will be really good. And also when you talk about the mid frequencies, so they align very well with the Harman target curve, but as you're going towards the high frequencies, you can already see in the graph that that red line, especially on the region around 3000 to 5000 kilohertz, that is slightly dropping down, while on the AJ1 it will be completely opposite. So you see that blue line that is elevated, while on the Blon is slightly on the lower side. And then when you move to the high frequency, so the region that is around 8000 to 15000 kilohertz, the red line is again gaining some elevation. So which simply means that they will not have a very bright sound signature, but the overall sound signature you will get from these is very balanced, and they will sound very similar to the original Blon. The only difference is that the original Blon has a slightly less bass, but in this one you will get sufficient amount of bass. That's all. I mean, that's how I would like to put it up. The next we have is these new IEMs from CCZ. These are called CCZ DUET or CCZ BC04 Pro. So these are the new IEMs that recently rolled out. So it's a combination of metal and resin. The faceplate is made from some kind of a zinc alloy, and it has this matte finish to it. Also, this one also doesn't attract any sort of fingerprints and remains very clean. Now these IEMs come in a hybrid configuration, so it has a dynamic drivers inside along with a balanced armature. So and yeah, if you talk about the comfort and fitting, so I just want to say that these are comfortable to wear, but this particular thing, this earphone that you're looking at, maybe it may create a problem for some people, like for me also, like if I'm using it for long hours, so this thing actually begins to hurt. So the best way to wear them is that you don't just push this thing too deep inside your ear, just wear it normally, and yeah, it's going to sound really good and also feel very good. Now when you talk about the cable, so the cable on this one is not of the very best quality out there. I would say that in this entire comparison, the cable feels really of a very low quality. Yeah, but this is something you have to deal with. Now when it comes to the overall sound that you will get from these is very different from this entire comparison. So these IEMs are targeted for bass oriented people. So the bass on this one will be like the highest among all the IEMs that I've compared here. And yeah, it's not just that the bass is going to be high, so they are going to compromise with the mid and high frequencies just because of that balanced armature that they have included. So it's going to sound really good in the high frequencies, which are amount of details in the vocal region, and good separation in the instruments also. So this is the kind of IEM I would say or suggest to the kind of people who are very bass oriented. The graph on this one is not available at the time of making this video, but I hope some people who are into this will upload it, and yeah, then we will have a better clarity on the basis of the graph. But overall, I would say that a kind of an IEM that is bass oriented, so you know it if you want to have it or not. So I hope this video gave you some clarity and some knowledge, and if you have made it till here, I'm very thankful that you watched the entire video. Make sure to watch the individual unboxing and in-depth reviews of all the IEMs discussed here, and make sure to subscribe and follow me for more.